Hey everyone,
Hello.
good to see you again. You're back live here with Bob and Martha and Wim and Todd. I don't know if we mentioned earlier that we are actually live, so other portions of things were recorded, but we're all out in the Los Angeles area for this. And I hope you all have had a really fun day today. It's been a great day for all of us, and part of the fun's just been sitting here with these three all day. It's fun to be in a room with people like this for a full day and just chit chat between things. I hope you got a lot out of today. I was really happy to see people participating in a number of different ways. The breakout sessions. So thanks to Matt Petrowski for starting a breakout session that seemed very popular. Saw several capsules go by through the day, so certainly would encourage people to go create capsules. And then people that took part in that speed networking, I did that for a little while today too, and that was kind of fun. So if you didn't try out the speed networking stuff today, fun way to just meet some new people, and I'd encourage you to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll make sure to have some other prompts for tomorrow. So make sure you jump on in for that. And earlier they got a 2-for-1 deal because Bob and I decided to share a screen. So you never know who might end up on the other side of a quick networking there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we all learned stuff today, either from sessions or from each other. You guys have any sort of takeaways or key thoughts from the day, or things you learned that worth sharing?
Absolutely. Two things for me really stood out. One is just the community, right? I think the number of people that we've seen, the vibe throughout the day. I think the community needed this, and the community still wants this. So I'm very happy that we could put this together. So that's probably the single biggest thing. The other thing, and Todd and I were chatting about this a lot during the day, is how the platform today, just today, but also what's coming down down the pike in the future, uh, allows us to do more with less, and we'll expand on that tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the more with less is the thing. Like you may if you saw some of the sessions today, like mine, for example, we were doing a lot of things that, using other systems, other frameworks, other apps like using Next.js or Vercel deployments, things to accomplish certain goals today. And what we saw, especially from the opening session from the Claris people, is they're going to be expanding the Claris platform to reach more and more of those things. It's not going to be a situation where you're ever going to build everything you'll ever need to build in the Claris platform. That's not really a practical thing in any one platform, right?
Agreed.
The point is to have a good base layer that can reach a lot of the goals that you have, and then be able to integrate with everything else that you need to integrate with. And so I think we got a glimpse of that future today and what that's going to look like. And I'm psyched. I can't wait to see what this next release looks like.
Yeah, and besides all that sort of philosophical stuff, I learned a ton of practical stuff today too. Just the sessions on remote calls and the NFC tags and OData. It's a lot of stuff I learned some new stuff to levels of specifics that I really hadn't known before. So that was
Right.
really useful.
Yep.
Hopefully, everyone got some practical things out of today, in addition to sort of the heady philosophical sort of big picture things there too. Any takeaways from you today?
Well, I remember when I was scared of this stuff, right? It was like I would go to the conference and it's like, no, I wanted to talk about FileMaker and everything else seemed too big or too grandiose. And that my vibe has changed around that so much, right? Like the OData stuff that John Renfrew did is really exciting. And it's just a standard, right? So it's nice to see that we're bringing in standards into our world. So I think that was the stuff that I was most excited about today was just how much we're normalizing this integration and the idea that the platform is getting bigger. So that's what I liked.
Good. I hope everyone had a chance to go check out some of the vendor showcase stuff too. There was a lot of really interesting stuff going on there. I love how the platform lets vendors have a chance to interact live with people and also just have some other stuff there too. So hopefully that's working well for everyone. I think for the most part, our platform worked pretty well today. I've got generally
Agreed.
good feedback. I know there
Yep.
was a few issues with some refreshes and some DM things. Hopefully we get those worked out, but I appreciate everyone's sort of patience for trying to work through those things. And thanks to all the people behind the scenes that were helping us sort of with all the questions and the tech support stuff as it came up. That was really helpful. Let's see. We've got a couple other things to do in this closing session. We're going to keep this relatively short. So we wanted to share the poll results from the poll that you took this morning because that was fun, and I was curious about some of these things.
Yeah, let's take a
So
quick look.
the first one is, how did you learn FileMaker? And the vast majority of people learned through trial and error. I think.
Let me say that a few people reached out and said, "Where is my choose all button?" So out of fairness,
That's true.
A little bit biased. But,
yeah, but the predominant method, trial and error. So that I think that's what I put for my answer. So
Yeah.
that's how I learned. Let's see this.
All right. The next one's going to be about the favorite function.
Oh yeah.
So-
yeah.
Oh
But
yes.
before we get there, like, let's get
Yeah,
some
we gotta
opinions
explain
around
it.
the room. So yeah, why don't you
Well,
explain the idea behind it?
So as part of the registration, we asked people for their favorite function or script step. And from those, there were tons of results for that. We went through and we picked the top 5 or 6 here, and we thought we'd have a little playoff between those top 5 or 6 and see if we could vote on a favorite function or script step as a community here. And so this was the narrowed down list from what you all submitted in your when you registered. And yeah, so we'll reveal this in a second, but I'd be curious. I think we're gonna have to go around the room and say what we all said for this ourselves.
My vote squarely was for the insert from URL.
Okay.
I think when it was first introduced in 16, or at least the augmented capabilities of it with 16, it was a sleeper function. I don't think we realized what we got, but it's turned out to be massive, right? It's at the heart of every single integration that we do.
Yeah, that was my pick too. Insert from URL.
I would have guessed that from both of you. I would have
Totally.
predicted if somebody would have asked me what would Women Todd have said.
Because
That's what I
there is
would've
no
picked.
make coffee function.
That's
Well,
exactly right.
Well, I think the main reason is it was the gateway to all the integrations that we're doing today, right? It was the thing that let us go out and connect to everything else in a way that we could not do without plugins, prior to that. And so it made integration with other systems native, especially because it came coupled along in the same release with the JSON functions.
Yeah.
So now for the first time ever, we had native support for being a native cloud kind of thing. We could talk cloud. We could talk to other things that lived in the cloud. So that was a big deal and remains a big deal to me.
How about you? What'd you say?
Well, I said the let function. It makes everything beautiful and pretty and packaged.
That's good.
in
That's good.
my
Yeah.
function. So that's what I ran with.
Should we show the results here?
Yeah, let's take a quick look. Now, unlike other people in this room, I did not say that people were wrong. I just said that I preferred let. There's some strong opinions in the room earlier.
All right. So the consensus from our community is that the let function is everyone's favorite function.
It's a good one,
Interesting.
but let's just give a quick shout out to the 16 people who said beep.
Yeah, where
Those are my
are
favorite
those
too.
folks
I'm
hanging
not
out?
gonna lie.
And I think there should be a breakout session that's
should
just
be.
called Beep, and everybody should meet there. All the beepers should meet there
All the
after.
different
Right.
uses of beep.
Because by the way, this is going to be open. We're not shutting the platform down. So if the beepers want to get together and create a breakout beep session, you can do that.
Mhm.
And maybe all you'll hear if you go in there is beep. But
All right, and then we saved, I think, the most contentious question for the last one for the poll question here. So, how do people name their primary keys? And we had a very, very interesting discussion at dinner last night about this, around all the different conventions that people had. So, let's just share
We
the
just look
results.
at it?
Yeah, let's take a look at the results here.
So
And
just
what's
like
the
coming
winner?
up with this list was really fun, right?
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, don't forget about the double underscore at the beginning, or what if it was lowercase or capital? I clearly none of those.
Clearly none of the
so
above
we did
wins.
it wrong.
So there's
Yeah.
no consensus.
We're
no
missing something.
consensus.
So can we put in the chat? Can everyone put in the chat what their preferences are? Because I would love to see what we missed. I mean, I'm sure there were some obvious ones that we should have thought about.
Well, there's primary key, which is the default answer, right? When you create a new table, by
Right.
default, it's primary
Yeah.
key.
That's right.
Right.
How many
okay.
people never change that? Or there's primary key, but
We
all
have
It's
it.
in there,
Yeah,
lowercase.
we
it's in
have
there.
it.
But it's
it
primary
did get-
key with like primary key
Oh, it
capitalized.
is.
The word
You're
primary
right.
key.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Yeah.
Oh, did you have it?
There is no. It's just all lowercase.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, but
okay.
case matters. I mean, obviously by
Yeah.
the ID versus ID that we got here.
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
So it is case
Yeah.
specific.
59 versus 73 on just case alone.
On just that, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a time discussing this as a company standard, and it was quite the lengthy conversation. And we were passionate. You couldn't talk us off our own ledge. It was like, why would anyone do it any other way? I mean,
We
I
met
think
for week after week
it
talking
was-
about the same
it was
thing.
intense. I
Yeah.
remember.
Well, and everyone thinks they're right too, for all their
Exactly.
reasons. So
Exactly.
This is interesting. So it's interesting to me to see how many people know that they're right in so many different ways. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Well, those were fun. I'm glad that thank you for everyone who participated. Those were just, it was enlightening, and I'm sure there was a lot of passion behind
ID
it, even
beep.
if
That's
we
the
didn't hear
new
it.
that's the new winner.
ID beep.
ID,
ID
beep.
dot
Oh, that is
beep.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
ID
it.
dot beep. There we go.
All right. We might need to see if we can come up with some fresh poll questions for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So-
And we're happy to take any suggestions too. So if you want to throw something in the chat,
Yeah.
that would be a good idea. Something that came to mind, or some hot topic that you discussed today. We'd love to consider those too.
Okay. Now, another thing from when you filled out your registration, we asked people for shout outs to people in the community, to What was the prompt for that exactly for the
I
registration?
think we said who deserves a shout out in this community. And we were excited to see what people came up with.
Yeah, it was incredible to see all the responses we got. Thank you for everyone that took the time to fill something in there. And it's too many to share everything, but it was a good representative sample of stuff. And Martha's created a word cloud here that gives you a sense of some of the people and ideas that came up in that in that registration
Look at all that.
response.
That's great.
It's a lot of names.
That's
It
a
was
good
actually
list.
really cool to see it.
Yeah.
And we didn't make those required. So I think that there's something to be said about people choosing to give shout outs when they didn't have to. So I think that shows a lot of the spirit that we have in our community.
Yeah, and I think we've got on the scroll there, we've got some of the specific things that people said.
Whim
So
Decor is all kinds of awesome.
there
There you go.
Did we check?
I'm just very happy that FileMaker Community as an entity is on that list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that's awesome.
And it's the
Right.
biggest number
It
too.
totally
It's
belongs
the
there.
largest. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
do think that is the secret sauce of
Yep.
of Claris,
Yep.
the FileMaker community here is the community.
Well, that's what we've been saying all day, right? Is that we couldn't have done this without the community. Again, the four of us couldn't have made it happen. The two companies couldn't have done it without all of the help that came with this. And I think the willingness came from the speakers. It was obvious through all the participation and the vendors today. I mean, I think it showed itself off pretty well today.
Yeah, and the irony here is that we built this community over the past 20, 25, 30, whatever years
Yep.
through events just like this.
That's
So
right.
this
Absolutely.
is how it happens, is by getting together, by sharing information, by just hanging out and chatting in rooms at the lazy river, wherever it might be.
Yep.
So yeah, so these are important events for our community, and we need to make sure we keep doing things like this.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So that's all the shout outs. So thanks again for that. As I think Todd mentioned before, the rooms are going to stay open here for the rest of the night. So if you want to hang out in the lobby bar or the lazy river and chit chat with people, I think I saw that there was a new breakout room that was just opened up. So feel free to continue to chat.
The beepers, I'm sure, are on their way.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're organizing their breakout room right now.
Yep.
Tomorrow we've got kind of the same schedule. I think we're going to start with we're going to start with a very fun opening session tomorrow. Again, that's going to be Wim and Todd doing some live without a safety net programming in front of everyone, and so that'll be fun. And
I mean,
you'll-
we offered to do it, but they said no, let us please.
I insist.
Pick your feet up. It's fine.
Yeah. Good. So we're just going to supply them with coffee and watch them go. So good. And then a bunch more sessions. And if you didn't get a chance to see sessions today, please do go watch things when they get posted to YouTube. There's lots of great content there. And then we'll do another recap thing like this at the end of tomorrow too, to round things out.
Tomorrow
Perfect.
we start at the same time, and spread the word. It's not too late to sign up if you know someone who could have been here today that wasn't or wasn't able to. We are happy to take more people tomorrow. And today's showing was fantastic. We really got a good number on a lot of sessions. We were watching the interactions, and it was really great. So we're looking forward to a day 2 of this after some pool time and some lobby bar.
Yeah, we're headed to the pool or the bar next.
Yep.
Yeah, there we
We'll
go.
find one.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it. This was been a
Thanks,
fun
everybody.
day.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
And thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.